Hi everyone, welcome back to another race on SpeedGaming for the Hollow Knight All Skills Tournament. Today we're doing current patch with Jamie versus JBHyperion. This is going to be a really exciting race because these runners are both very close in their PB time.
Not much in it at all. 22 seconds. We'll just give them a countdown now, and there will be a slight stream delay, and then they'll be on their way. And so I've given the go, so they should be off pretty soon. There's always this awkward delay of waiting until they get going.
Yeah.
But I guess we can use this time to say that the race will be on current patch, so if you've caught a few races this tournament, it will be slightly different. There's some slight changes to the route, and you'll notice in general movement, inventory drops used very differently because they're physics frame perfect, so 1/50th of a second when you walk off of a ledge instead of being able to do it whenever, so they're going to be used a lot more sparingly. And looks like they started pretty synced up.
Love how current patch makes you watch part of each of these cutscenes.
That and the Dreamer cutscenes, they're like, you know what? You really need to see this cutscene 3 times before you beat the game. Really appreciate it.
It's extra cinematic. See, that's the real reason to run current patch. It's like a movie in your speedrun.
And the stag cutscenes, the timer stops, right? So you can appreciate the stag and what he does for you.
Underappreciated hero. Everyone's always talking about Mila and Nailsmith, and nobody ever talks about the stag.
Right, and we got a sync up there. It looks like Jamie got slightly better Vengefly position, but she did miss the softball, so JB will be slightly in the lead coming out of King's Pass. As we all know, King's Pass does decide who loses. The first person out always loses. Sample size of 4, but I refuse to acknowledge the mathematical flaws in that reasoning.
No, this is true.
And now the most intense part of the run, trying to buffer jumps.
You also might have noticed that they both open their inventory when they hit the ground. That's a current patch tech that allows you to cancel the hard fall animation. So anytime they can't escape a hard fall, they're usually going to be trying to do that.
Yeah, so it saves 0.3 seconds, and it's a pretty recent discovery actually. And one time where they might not use it is in Fungal Waste in the big drop near Leg Eater, because if you come off of the platform like you normally dash, like you would hard fall and dash, and if you leave the ground before your hard fall would have ended, then you don't get your dash in midair back, and it can lead to a dunk. So I know that Jamie tends to play it safe and just not do the hard fall cancel there.
Interesting.
It was really fun finding that one out on a good pace.
Yeah, that's usually whenever you find stuff like that. You really, especially in a tournament setting, you really want an average run. You don't want to have a good run, because if you have a good run, it's gonna explode.
Yeah, exactly. For most runners, they can pretty reliably finish a run a minute or two behind their PB. It's when you're really going for it that you're at that point of, I might save 2 seconds, I might lose 15. And you don't really want to be taking those risks in tournaments, because during runs, it doesn't matter. If you mess up, you just reset and you have, infinity time to improve. But you can't really just brute force RNG in a tournament setting.
And the all skills current patch route does skip false night, correct?
Yeah, yep. I know all skills used to get it back when I joined in 2018 or something. But yeah, that got removed because it is a slow 200 geo. And since we don't have to buy dash slash right at the start in current patch, the early game routing is like super lenient. I don't think you're really even close until much later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so Jamie with a slight lead into Mound. And so JB is slightly ahead real time, but since we use a loadless timer, Jamie does have that lead, as I mentioned. Current patch doesn't have a load normalizer, so we will be doing some small sync ups during the race, but it won't be, quite the same parity between the runners that you're probably used to if you've seen some of the 1221 races.
I actually didn't know that there was no load normalizer, so makes sense.
There is one that doesn't use modding API. Like Rando Tournament, we needed API so we could just use a load normalizer anyway, but it's not been ported to current patch.
All right, let's see. JB getting first bit. I don't think Jamie got first bit.
Jamie got second, so not too bad, and that will actually even them up a little bit more. It looks like, despite that, Jamie had, oh no, but getting hit, so taking a bench. That makes sense. So they're about synced up now.
Yeah, they're even. They were both 48 leaving. Really, really close going into green path, and we do have one more Baldur to fight. So
Ready for spit, Reki?
yeah, this could
Please
be really
no.
bad for either of the runners. First bit
Double
again.
first bit for JB.
Insane.
Something page cheated up. And Jamie getting much more unfortunate RNG, but still only lost a total of 4.5 seconds to those spits, so not too bad. And yes, that difference is basically reflected in their green path entry time.
There's still a lot of time that they could either make up or lose in green path anyway. A lot of this early movement really adds up because we have fireball skips, we have tiny little jump optimizations, and just general movement that can save or lose you a lot of time here. Green path is one of the hardest splits to optimize in this game.
I actually think that for like any Sentinel skills, Cloak's like the hardest split until well into the mid game to get like really good. Just because there is, like you say, so much that can go wrong. JB messing up, but he will have the saving grace of Manpogo being consistent on the current patch. Having to aggro it twice because he had to stop and aggro the Moss creep, but not too bad. Jamie getting it first shot, so she will save a little bit of time there and make up some of that Boulder Spit RNG, but she is
not
on
if
1
she
health.
dies.
Yeah. As you were saying, Cloak's really hard to do well, but it's also incredibly punishing if you die. It's probably up there with late in Crystal Heart as most punishing deaths. Look, Jamie, please don't. Freeze on her end. I'm hoping that this is a sync up for the wrong player and not their stream going down.
Oh no, it's happening.
Oh no. Let me see if their stream looks this bad or whether it's restream machine broke. Well, she's not even showing up as live on my
Okay,
end, which
looks like
is
she's back.
questionable.
And are the moss
Oh
knights
no,
still
she's streaming on her own. Alright, looks like it's fine now. Touch
Are the
wood.
moss knights positions still RNG on current patch?
You always get bad spawn.
Okay.
I think the left one, you know how in 12.21 it can fluctuate slightly? I think that's consistent on current patch, but the active one always is far right.
Okay. I just wanted to ask before, I was like, and both runners got unfortunate Moss Knight RNG.
And Jamie giving us a PowerPoint presentation on the Hornet fight again. This is super weird because her streams the last few days that I've seen have all been like really smooth.
Judging by where she is frozen in Green Path, it looks like JB is quite far ahead right now.
Yeah, that was a really costly cloak for her. Like you say, it's just such a brutal split to try and do well, and it, like small mistakes can be punished really hard. JB coming into Fungal now, and he botched the Soul Collection there slightly. We want to get 6 hits before the Sporg, so that we can do a trick called Comfy Pogo, and it's the current patch version V Pogo that was found relatively recently that is much simpler, so you're not losing runs or messing around with VSync or anything. And then we get 1 hit on the Sporg, like launcher, and 2 hits in the room after, and then we can do Mantis Pogo as normal. Looks like Jamie went to the Mr. Incognito school of streaming. Like I say, hopefully we can get this fixed shortly.
Great Comfy Pogo from JB. Textbook.
Yeah, it looks really nice when it's done well like that.
He wiggled a little bit too far right there. Still, no, never
Ooh.
mind. He didn't pull it off.
Yeah, and really low there. If you're going to do a damage tank in 2 Pogo strat on a Mantis, you need to damage tank way higher.
He did get the backup on the big Mantis in the middle, though, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that backup, it has such a little head, it's very easy for it to go wrong. And judging by Jamie teleporting into the room after E-Pogo, I'd say that she got Comfy Pogo as well.
Ooh, teleported to 1 HP. It looks like the Mantis Pogo didn't go that great, but
Yeah.
her stream looks stable now.
Alright, it looks fine. Yeah, Anti was saying that the stream actually looks fine on Jamie's end, so I'm not sure if maybe, I don't know, maybe something on SpeedGaming's end that selectively decided to break one stream. But hey, pretty fast claw from Jamie. It was only like 5 frames long until the last room. It's got to be some kind of record.
Yeah, that's Calm Sob Mantis.
Yeah. And JB coming up to Grozmother now. Grozmother is not a challenging fight. It's basically just an RNG cutscene. Ironically, the most challenging part of the fight is actually the cleanup.
That is true. Because the Gruzzers that come out they're also RNG, and if they decide to go straight up out of her belly, you're just kind of hacked. There's not really a good way to control them.
JB electing to fireball a little late, but also higher to try and like cut off those really high grosses you were talking about, which is really smart play for tournament where you're probably more worried about consistency than theoretical peak. Jenny getting second try inventory drop there. Going right past the Aspid, so you have to get 3 hits on Jenny.
Jenny probably has it coming.
Yeah, she deserved it. Slightly cleaner Grosmother kill from Jamie. JB really showing us how far left you can be on that shade spawn. I'm not brave enough for that.
Yeah, it's actually very lenient. It's like halfway in front of that door, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I messed up once and now I've just sworn to myself never again. And I've just got to like slowly work my way back to it until I mess it up again and then never do it again.
That's like me with like underplat.
Yeah. And like I swear you have to like relearn E-Pogo and Mantis Pogo like once every 2 weeks. Each time you practice it, it extends your like E-Pogo lifetime by another 2 weeks until it just breaks again.
Yeah, both of the runners in this match have Miss Mantis Pogo. It really, really is like that.
And I'm sure like it's to do with you mess it up once, then you get in your head, you're like, don't mess it up again, and then it's just so ingrained in muscle memory that as soon as you think about it, your hands are like, no, I give up.
Neither of these runners got a fireball from the shade, which is really good. It's good RNG.
Yeah, it's really nice when both runners get comparable RNG. It feels bad when you have a really close race and one runner got significantly better or worse RNG. But when they're this close in terms of patterns, it's really nice and gives you a really equal race. And JB beating up the living Georock.
.666 Geo.
Yeah. He just like invoked like demonic powers to turn Jamie's stream into a slideshow. And so now, people familiar with 12.21 current patch, this is going to be one of the biggest diversions. We can't lever skip on this patch, so we have to go and kill big boy Great Husk Sentry here, which is really, really slow. Like this one lever skip is one of the probably the biggest single time difference between 12.21 and current patch, especially for like any percent.
Yeah, because
JB, oh, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, all skills is probably the category that is most different between the current patch and 1.2.2.1 categories.
Yeah, especially in Sanctum, there are so many levers you can skip, and of course, getting that Shade Soul early and doubling your damage output is really nice. All Skills current patch has a reputation of having a lot of like a really big early game jail, if you know what I mean. Like the early game with double boulder RNG, a more volatile green path with a harder to stagger Hornet, a harder explosion pogo, especially before comfy pogo was a thing, and then a much harder and much more volatile Sanctum. It makes it really hard to get good pace runs out of early games. So the fact that both runners are still on pretty good paces going into Sanctum is really just a testament to how practiced they are in the category.
Yeah, exactly. Sanctum is another section that could allow Jamie to catch up if JB gets unlucky enough.
Yeah, for sure. In this Soul Warrior fight, they're going to be going for double hits on Fireball. JB getting pretty unlucky with them. and Soul Warriors, and a whiff as well. Yeah, so this is potentially a huge time save for Jamie. All right, so JB got one double and whiffed one.
Nice double hit on the twister.
Yeah, that saves a few seconds on JB too, because he had to chase it around a bit. So in entering Left City, thanks to Rick's local timekeeper, Jamie saved 6 seconds just entering Left City. So that she's definitely on a tear. Good amount of soul going into the Soul Warrior too for her. And JB just entering Soul Master now. Jamie with a much faster fight on that Soul Warrior.
Yeah, they got a bunch more double hits in. That was great.
Yeah. JB got really unlucky with that start. Soul Master dived instantly, so the second fireball whiffed. Whereas normally you can get a double there pretty consistently, so that's a really big damage loss.
Yeah, also the
really nice off of that stagger there.
You really want him to stagger relatively low, that way you can line up a double out of it, because if you hit him with a fireball, he'll almost always teleport. So you're always trying to aim your fireballs toward the middle of the stage, that way he's a lot more likely to actually teleport into a second hit. But if he staggers that high up, it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and that was a really good fight from JB. Soul Master can just be really mean on the current patch, since you have so much lower DPS, you can't just kill him in 2 attacks, so bad RNG can add up much faster. And JB got 3 dives, was it?
Oh, I wasn't counting.
Either way, it wasn't a lot, so that's going to be a really hard fight for Jamie to match, I think. Ooh, this is a nice damage window. High stagger, but a high teleport, so worked really well. Jamie should still save time overall for this split, just because of the much cleaner Soul Twister and Soul Warrior fights.
Yeah, we'll see. It definitely looks like they're a lot closer than whenever they entered.
Yeah. High spawn, but Jamie made really good work of it. Definitely looks like she saved a lot of time that split, actually. And now a pretty calm split before we get into some more sketchiness, but just making our way now out of Sanctum. Since it is a hard save, we can't just save quit back to our last bench. And yeah, so 25 seconds difference between the runners now, and Jamie making up 7 seconds difference. Ooh, that's really, really rough.
Jamie doing the backup pogo to get up to the wall.
So that'll cost a couple of seconds, but still infinitely better than dying.
Yeah, worth noting that before they actually get to the bench, if they were to die, dive is a hard save. So they're not super, super far away, but it would still be pretty costly to die there.
And for Jenkar and anyone just joining us, the main time loss for Jamie was basically just the Mothwing Cloak split. She took a whole bunch of damage and had to heal a few times. But she's been pretty steadily gaining time on JB throughout that, so it should still be a pretty close race. I definitely wouldn't count either runner out. And from that bench that we just saw JB take, they won't be able to bench at all until after they get Cyclone Slash, which means that they're going to be doing Crystal Peak to get C-Dash, Dreamnail, and C-Dash, D-Dark, and Dreamnail, including a Darkroom there to get to D-Dark, and then going through cliffs to get to Cyclone, all without one bench. So health conservation is going to be really important here.
Is that inventory drop worth it, or did she just want to get it?
First try, probably. Second try, definitely not. But if you do get it, you still want to cancel it and dash left as soon as you can.
I see.
And Jamie getting Photoshop jump.
Actually impossible. Proof that she's like right now.
Yeah. She's been taking those XTU Photoshop lessons. And speaking of XTU, JB coming up to the Pogax room here. Pogax being a relatively recent discovery. Actually, it's not that new. I'm just old. But
yeah, I was about to say. It's been consistent for like at least over a year, but I don't know if we have a consistent current patch version, so I'd be surprised to see either runner go for it.
Anecdotally, current patch feels easier. But yeah, I think one RNG can still kind of screw you, or at least the backup for it's not as universally known.
JB messed up the cycle in the second laser room. So the way Crystal Peaks works is that it's extremely consistent. It's all cycles. As long as you do the movement correctly, you're usually not going to come across any issues. But sometimes there's a couple of the laser bugs themselves, their laser start time is RNG. So that can end up hacking you in one particular room. But overall, Crystal Peaks is almost entirely execution.
Yeah, and Jamie having a slight slip up on Pogax room there, wisely going to heal. A big difference between all skills and any percent. Like I mentioned, you're doing all that stuff after Crystal Heart. So where any percent is pretty comfortable damage tanking, like basically every cycle room where you can take damage. All skills, especially on current patch, you really need to be conserving health.
Oh, JB! Oh, goodness.
Where was that?
Underplat.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Is he gonna... Oh, no!
Oh, no. Okay. Jamie now
huge.
with a colossal lead. As long as the rest of Jamie's Crystal Peak segment goes fine, it could be over for Jamie.
I mean, I think literally as long as Jamie plays well and doesn't die, JB would have to match Comsob for the entire run to make it close.
Yeah, Crystal Peaks is probably one of the worst places to die, just because you're so far away from a bench. It's probably the farthest that you'll ever be from a bench.
Especially before Crystal Heart, just before Crystal Heart, because once you get C-Dash, you can take the bottom route through Peaks, but since we don't, we have to go all the way around again. So that really, the significance of it can't be understated. And Jamie on 4 health. I'm not sure if she's watching the restream. If she is, we'll probably see her playing relatively safe because it's 1.5 seconds to heal, but the race at this point isn't going to be won or lost on 1 second or 1.5 second intervals.
Yeah, there are still things that could kill either one of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you said, just playing safe is just gonna guarantee her lead.
Yeah, it's sort of like you were saying earlier about in tournament, you want to sort of maximize speed and safety in a balance, and so for Jamie that balance has shifted just that bit further in the side of balance, and it puts a lot more pressure on JB because he knows that he has to play really well, because any other death... yeah, JB realizing he can take bottom path now. Oh, where's he going? Or not? No. Oh, no, he can't. Yeah.
Yeah, the gate isn't open yet.
Oh, Jamie.
The Wombo
Please don't.
combo.
Alright. Alright, she can't die now. Oh, actually cliffs if RNG C- memes. She won't die in this split. But yeah, so JB basically has to play really well and bank on Jamie messing up. But if he can save sort of one cycle on Umu, 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there, and then Jamie has a not as costly but still not great death, it could be a lot closer. Something like a Hornet 2 death would probably make this race a lot closer. Maybe just in Beast Den or in the Dark Rooms would also make it really close. So definitely don't count JB out. It's just going to be really hard. Going back for the underplayer.
You know what? I respect it. Even
Yeah.
though he's at 2 health and he would have died again. He's gotta actually make that point, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You can't let it beat you. And Jamie doing the impossible C-dash here in the dream platforms. Remembering what you meant to do is actually a major glitch, so we're going to have to give her a time penalty for that one. Meant to just do any percent dream platforms in every category.
So, cool thing Jamie's probably going to go for here is seer skip. Seer skip used to be really precise on current patch, but we found out recently that you can C-dash and pretty consistently get out of the room. So you pause for the early control and then just zoom. And you can see the knight still half asleep at the end of the ledge there. It's a really cool trick.
Yeah, so how new is that?
I think the C-dash version has to be only a couple of weeks old.
Cool, because I found out about it literally yesterday.
Yeah, I
Just
think that the
refreshing
112
everything,
runners
like,
were the reason
totally
that
living under a rock. And JB going to save a little bit of time in mound here. So like I say, he's just chipping away at that lead. And Jamie busting out the slideshow again, it looks like. Just wanting us to really take a moment to appreciate Sly.
we do love Sly.
Yeah,
Slideshow. I love it.
oh my god, Flib. So from Rex, it looks like JB saved 10 seconds in the D-Dark split, but that difference is still 2 minutes 30. Coincidentally, it is about 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30 for a few of those deaths I mentioned earlier. So definitely still pressure on Jamie not to make any huge mistakes. And Jamie back to normal. I don't know what it is with either her internet or SpeedGaming in some capacity. But hopefully it's, yeah, still relatively fine. And Jamie now finished up the really long segment without a bench I was talking about. So we're going to see now the reason why we do keep that bench for so long. It's going to put us right back in City. And from here, we're going to go and get Shade Soul and then take on the Watcher Knights. We're not going to go down there, Jamie.
Remembering to go to Shade Soul, impressive tech.
Did you see that parry?
Yeah, I did.
Do you know what causes coming out of that really dark lever skip room in 1221, but same thing on current patch? What causes the flying sentry to aggro? It feels random.
I don't know. I think it just always happens on current patch. Maybe it's an FPS thing because I've never had him not aggro on current patch, but he doesn't aggro in 1221 for me.
All right, yeah, it might be current patch then, because I think sorry, FPS, because I think I've had him not aggro a couple of times on current patch, but I only get like 350 FPS instead of like 600, and I capped to 250 as well.
Yeah, I've run at I think like 350, 400. So
Yeah.
Okay, she's fine. Started to make me a little nervous there with the damage takes in that Soul Warrior fight. Good D-Darks though.
Yeah, JB taking a little bit to get up that cliff's tunnel. There's a lot of weird geometry that doesn't actually, where the hitboxes doesn't actually match the sprite there, so it is a lot harder than it looks. There's one in particular that's just like an impossible jump. And yeah, so we're going to see Watch Knight's fight now. Compared to any percent, the fight, your damage is tons higher, plus you've got the portable iframe factory that is descending dark. So surviving the fight generally becomes a lot easier, but since you have that much more damage, you're going to be a lot more liberal with damage tank strats. So you can actually die if you you know, try and go too fast. So it is about striking that balance.
Yeah, and an important thing to note between current patch and 1221, whenever you start a new D-Dark from an old D-Dark, you do lose your iframes on current patch from your previous D-Dark. So you're going to try to see Jamie like dashing out of the Watcher Knights before starting a new one, and that's why.
Yeah, so Jamie taking a couple of hits there, but Soul worked out well that she was able to heal one, so shouldn't be too many issues. And similar to any percent, we're going to be trying to keep the Watch Knights stacked up, but instead of rolls being really good, that breaks the stack. And normally any percent, that's fine because you're getting a triple hit fireball out of it, which is like way bigger damage. But oh wow, that was really nice. So really nice fight from Jamie there, but yeah, we want to keep them stacked up and D-Darking. That last fireball killed that Watcher from like the very edge of the fireball range. That was really, really impressive.
Yeah, because on current patch, the fireballs stop at the edge of the screen, so you can't hit. Yeah, so her like moving a little bit farther right, almost like, we could say that she's a gamer, and it was calculated.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. She's been running current patch exclusively for God knows how long. Because, yeah, like, if you stand in the center of the screen in Fireball, it's like the edge of your screen where it despawns. So when you're in boss arenas and, like, you can get a lot closer to the edge of your screen, you can actually see your Fireball despawning, which is just an absolute scam.
Wow.
And JB coming up to Watch Nights now, so they're about one Watch Nights apart. And the runners are gonna... And Jamie getting that inventory drop first try, that's one of the most important ones to get in current patch, except not for all skills. I'm pretty sure it breaks even or loses time to a cyclone drop, but Jamie swears by that inventory drop and will do it for the swag points.
How new is that? Because I actually haven't seen that.
The cyclone drop?
No, the inventory drop that Jamie just did.
That was around when like test form and that we're doing any percent current patch optimizations and actually running the category seriously. So that would be, what, 6 months ago now?
Oh, wow.
Perception of time is impossible.
That would explain why I don't know about it, because any percent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Jamie's going to Yzma's now. Yzma's is probably one of the harder splits in the category. You have to do 3 difficult splits. I love whenever you weave and you miss every platform.
Jamie being a really experienced rando player, I do expect her to do pretty well in these skips, just because that's something that rando really emphasizes. First try spike tunnel, first try on the first acid skip, and is this setupless? Yeah, wow, yeah, that was really nice. Fast too.
And hitting the herp hopefully gets early control here. Nice.
Yeah, really clean Ismas. If it weren't for the flub getting to the spike tunnel, I think that actually would have been a pretty solid gold pace going into Basin.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I can't see how you do that much quicker. And Jamie showing off Cyclone drop there. Since All Skills current patch gets Cyclone so early, and as I mentioned earlier, those inventory drops are a lot harder and a lot more limited in sort of the scope of their applications. Cyclone use is really important for getting that vertical speed, and it does have the advantage over inventory drops that you can do them like diagonally, whereas inventory drops you're committing to moving straight down. So we'll see a lot more use of them going through rooms. And Jamie coming up to Morlux now, and then we'll see Harder Lost Kin too.
So these first couple of Molochs are extremely consistent if you do the movement correctly, the first 2, and then from that point on, the rest of them are RNG. So we'll see. Okay, so she takes a hit on that one.
That ceiling Morlux seems like way more willing to hit you on current patch, so it's always nice seeing people get past that one unscathed. Ooh, gets the last one. Nice. Ooh, second try? Yep, second try basin jump.
Nice. Have we explained trans dashes? Dash jumps. What are we calling them now?
Yeah, there's like 5 different names to them or something, but basically what happens is that it reverses your dash direction and lets you keep some of that like horizontal speed that's applied like before your vertical, and it lets you get out from ledges a lot easier. And effectively, what it means is, like, say, you can get around ledges, and it lets you trade height for horizontal distance. So where we need to make those kind of, we're more concerned about getting out over a lip. They're really nice.
Also, Jamie getting the swag door. I feel like I should mention that. JB accidentally took an Ipapa there on the drop to basin bench. That can happen.
And looks like they're about going to high five on the bench. So JB actually saved 3 seconds on the Isma's exit, which is pretty impressive. I guess just that falling down at the start for Jamie cost her all of the good execution after.
JB actually did the movement correctly there and was able to avoid the first Moloch.
Yeah, just get hits at the very left edge of the second one's spit range. But still one more health than Jamie. Oh, never mind. So they're both on 3 health. I don't expect JB to have any issues. Oh, he didn't go for the trans dash though, so disqualified.
Yeah, that's kind of weenie, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Imagine going for underplat, but not.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick a side. Are you going for swag or not? That's it. Really clean broken vessel. So, oh, why did I say anything?
Commentator curse. Thanks,
That
Insomnia.
should do it. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like he missed a couple of hits on some of his spells.
Ooh, Jamie struggling with the base and drop a bit. Oh, yeah. 3 health into Umu, a bit sketchy because I'm pretty sure the 1 cycle strat for current patch, if you get an extra, the backup to save it involves a lot of damage tanking. Yeah, smart to bench. Like we're saying, she's got sort of 2 minutes 28 seconds of leeway. You might as well use a couple of those seconds to not die to Umu.
Yeah, she was practicing this earlier, so we'll see if she can actually pull off the current patch 1 cycle. So this was found pretty recently, where in order to do the 1 cycle, you're gonna use D-Dark and then line up a couple of double hits with Shade Soul, as opposed to the 1-2-2-1 version that kills Umu out of bounds, because Umu can't be brought out of bounds in current patch.
Yeah, and other like Umu physics differences on current patch is that it's not affected by platforms. So we'll see some Shade Souls if this is done right. Yeah, wow, that was really clean. That actually looked like the 1221 strat, like the 1221 port of the strat. Because the current patch ones I've seen have like done up slashes and then the fireballs, but
Oh,
if
really?
it works, it works.
The way that Jamie did it is the way that I do it too. I thought that was like the strat.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that the one I learnt did up swings.
I'll blame it on keyboard players because they can actually do up
Yeah.
flashes without
Yeah.
into enemies.
I'm pretty sure the one in my PV accidentally did an extra nail swing, and I was like, oh no, I've missed it. And then I got like an incredibly lucky double. It's outdated, Jenka. Look, it was in date last time I ran the category.
Oh, that's so relatable.
So Valley dropping the tech lore on us. Under's original one had the up slashes, but it wasn't quite consistent. So the side slashes are easier. So I'm gonna just change the narrative to I chose to do up slashes as a swag strat and not the fact that I'm just like lacking information.
Yeah, that sounds good. JP
Jamie,
doing it now.
yeah, so Jamie's actually coming up to one of the newest changes in the route. We're actually going to be killing Massive Moss Charger for oh wow, nice 1 cycle from JB too.
And he did the up slashes because he heard us.
Yeah. But yeah, she's going to be killing Massive Moss Charger because on current patch it actually gives 300 geo instead of 120, and it's really quick to kill. So we just do that instead of farming extra geo or going to Lem, and it gives us that tiny little bit extra we need for our dash slash and distant village stag. There's a quick kill on it where I haven't seen this version of it. So
Yeah,
I'm
this
sure
is the
that this is
last
probably faster, and I'm just old.
Yeah, because 112%, for example, is one of the categories that does kill Moss Charger, and it's going from right to left, so you kill it from the right side. And since this
Yeah,
category is doing it from the other direction, and you want to leave, you would kill it from that direction. It's cool that it works from both sides because
yeah.
we all know Hollow Knight hitboxes aren't consistent.
Yeah. I'm gonna just stick with learning one setup because as soon as I have two rattling around in my head, I overthink it and mess it up. Right, and Jamie come out to the Great Slash Gauntlet now. They actually dash through this transition instead of C-dashing because the cycle on that first Durandu is slightly different and you can't C-dash through, otherwise you just hit it. But yeah, getting through without any real issues, sliding down the wall a couple of times, but that's just minor optimizations. Green Path of Pain.
Someone needs to make that mod. That sounds like it would be great.
I'm waiting for the day someone accidentally benches at Shia. Because that would just be disastrous.
I've definitely seen it happen, but not in this tournament so far.
I've like seen the bench as I'm there on like a decent pace. I'm like, do not accidentally sit on this. I will hate myself.
Yeah, as an analog player, I personally jump over the bench just in case.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm in the air so I can't accidentally do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a similar thing in JB having some issues with that little gap there.
The knight put on a little weight.
Yeah. Jamie doing QGA first try. Really impressive. And so now we're going to see the Wraiths Arena. It's got potential to go really, really wrong if the squibs get on bad cycles, but if you can get it right, it's really consistent and really fast. So hopefully we'll see a clean one. Oh, that's a bit of a split, but deals with it well. If we can get that up slash. Oh. Kind of a questionable way of doing the arena, but we take those, I guess, question mark.
that looked like it was a mistake into an improv.
Yeah. I haven't seen the Great Slash. I've always seen a / dash up slash. But it's probably optimal and I'm just old.
Yeah, there's been a lot of new ideas and stuff put into the route recently. Especially in the patch.
And just all skills in general. As the category is getting more and more optimized, nail art's just being used more and more because they weren't really a thing that were used really heavily, sort of even a year ago. But now we just use them everywhere for movement, especially in current patch where, as I said, inventory drops that bit weaker.
Oh, that's a new strat.
Jamie getting screwed over a bit there by the fact that Petras have 45 health instead of 40 on current patch, and our Shade Soul does 40 damage, so you used to be able to just one-shot them, whereas you need either a Shade Soul and Nail Swing or a second Shade Soul to kill Petra now.
Also, this is another room that's different from 1221 in current patch. It's another room where Team Cherry decided that they don't like speedrunners just C-dashing into a room. So that Mossy Boy is right in the way of your C-dash.
Yeah,
So
and
current patch is
even
lower.
if the Mossy Boy wasn't, they've extended the ceiling hitbox so it stops your C dash by 1 pixel.
Wait, really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's just like, you have to wonder if it was intentional. They're like,
It's
someone here is having fun. This must stop immediately.
Team Sherry hates us. So we don't buy Lantern in this category, even though we do save Sly on current patch. Luckily, we still don't really have to do too much of Dark Deepness. Jamie's at 1 health, but she's already done, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Touch wood, but she shouldn't have any issues with the Devout. The kill on it is really consistent with D-Dark and Shade Soul. JB really having some issues here. Oh, we missed both Shade Souls on that Petra. Yeah, that's really bad.
Very scary, but
Okay. Alright, so Jamie's passed the last super costly death. I mean, she certainly doesn't want to die on like sibling climb or anything, but that was probably the last spot where it was, like 2 minutes time loss. Ooh, JB getting hit by that Petra, turning around there.
yeah, there's still a couple of places where he can take a couple of hits. I wouldn't be surprised to see him heal.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the dark room, that spider at the bottom, if you get like wombo comboed into spikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, the Weavers on current patch spawn like 7 years late, so you don't have to worry about those as much, but sort of small quality of life change. Really clean den exit from Jamie. She's a big proponent of Cyclone Slash, and sort of just that refined movement is really shining through.
Yeah, for sure. So we're coming up on, I believe, the last actually dangerous fight before the final boss. But the good thing about current patch is that the routing has changed to where we actually do get the camp bench. And once you two doesn't necessarily have to.
I
So
just thought we were on the way to Shade Cloak. My 1221 brain took over.
yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Getting that camp bench as part of the route is really comfy. Because it's no longer sacrificing 10 seconds for safety. It's, I'm following the optimal route. Even if I die, I'm still only sort of that little bit away. So it's really good for consistency and like tournament setting as well. And Hornet 2 is a boss that can just parry like in your face repeatedly, so having that little safety strat there is really nice.
Yeah, and this Hornet, like the other one, does have 1 extra hit to stagger, just like the first version of Hornet. Not sure why they added extra hits to her stagger, but they did.
They just saw people were bullying her a little too hard, so they taught her to stand up for herself.
Why are they using speedrunners as the standard?
We
Let us
just see
over
that and
here.
they're like, alright, where did I struggle on my casual playthrough? And then make speedrunners struggle more at that, so it makes casuals feel more validated. So like Hornet 1 is like traditionally a really huge wall for new players. Give her another hit to stagger. Hornet 2 is really rough. Make it rougher. Another freeze on JD's side. Hopefully we get that one fixed pretty soon.
Oh, it might be a sync up. Or
JB's time is like a minute ahead already. Oh yeah, that's how time works. Yep, you're right.
All right, time for Hornet 2 on Jamie's side.
Yeah, so main things to keep aware of is trying to sort of keep her staggered and getting those Shade Soul doubles. Double hitting Shade Soul you can do on most of her attacks, especially the aerial thread. And then on the needle throw you want to be doing D-Darks. And for really consistent doubles, you want to have her sort of a third to half of the screen away at least, just because Shade Soul, way that double hits work, you can't really get them when you're right in the face of the enemy. Yeah, so just like that, that's sort of what we'll be going for this entire fight. Unfortunately, not having Soul there to double on the thread, so Soul management is something... Oh wow, that was a really fast fight from Jamie.
Yeah, that was really good. Jamie does like to go for a lot more dives than double hits, I've noticed.
Yeah. And, you know, when you consider the amount of iframes you get off of dive, it's pretty nice. But,
yeah,
this
it makes
is
the fight a lot more consistent for a tournament setting.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like 2.5 minutes to Shade Clo, 2 minute 1 minute to HK. This is actually a really good pace then, actually. Let me just check what time of PB is at here. Because I do know she has like 15 seconds of time save in THK as well.
Oh wow. So this could possibly be a PB for Jamie?
Yeah. Possibly actually. Her King's brand was a 5109. So maybe not quite, but with really good execution she could, I think. Actually, yeah, I think she's like tied with PB just about within 5 seconds going into King Station. So this could be a PB. Currently ahead. Okay, yeah. That one cycle Umu really paid off because I know PB had 2 cycle for her.
Yeah, that saves a lot of time.
Sorry. This run's dead. Jamie has no hope of PBing. She's not going to PB. She's probably going to die 4 times to 2HK.
JB scaring us a little bit there.
Yeah.
1 HP kill on Hornet at the very end. Wow.
And Swag Door. Yep.
Nice. What a gamer.
So she's 2 for 2 on Swag Doors this run. She deserves the PB, even though she...
Oh.
Please. You have dive.
Let's see how nice the siblings are to her, because right here we're about to do sibling climb, which is where you pogo these little ghosts to get up.
Yeah, the S in sibling stands for sadness because of all the runs they've killed. But that was really nice.
Yeah,
okay, this is a very real pace.
Gotta say, if I were in JB's position and I died in Crystal Peaks and I was racing someone and their run ended up PBing, I would feel very good about that.
Yeah, sort of when you lose but your opponent PBs, it's like
yeah,
at
you
least
definitely
it wasn't
deserve that
like
win, even if I played
good.
well.
Yeah. They played well, and it's not like it was a huge blunder on my end that cost me the run. Like, it would have actually been really hard to match. Alright, and Jamie going to be getting Abyss Shriek soon, and then we're going to see the most interesting IL that the game has to offer, which is the Abyss Climb. A slight mistake on that C-dash there, but that shouldn't cost her too much. And JB going to be dropping into Abyss now.
Also got swag door, by the way.
Got to respect the showing from both runners. And he had a slightly cleaner drop, so he will make up a little bit of time. And really nice, that room there from Jamie. Yeah, that's clean.
Slightly less good sibling positions from JB.
Ooh. Yep.
So that's kind of what I was talking about, where they
not
can...
falling.
Yeah, it didn't fall, but definitely costed him a little time. So which of those drops is faster? Jamie did a cyclone to fall from the lighthouse, but
oh no,
dive.
Right, it smells like dirt mouth bench in here.
Oh.
Oh no, that's brutal.
Jamie.
Please don't hit the shade.
Yeah, the shades do 2 damage. That would be very bad. Oh my goodness, Jamie.
Right, but she still does the spike wall, I respect it. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, she's not going to be happy with that. I think she can still just squeeze out a PB with a good THK, but all skills THK on the current patch is extremely volatile, so it's going to be close. And JB on his way to Abyss Shriek now, and we'll see his Abyss climb soon.
Still surprisingly close. He definitely did a great job of keeping up throughout this.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie does have comm sub THK. Like, it's definitely not downplaying her ability. Just if the parry machine decides to show up, you just kind of have to roll over and accept your fate. Don't do sight helicopter knight, thank you. I know that she does muscle memory and do that sometimes. Right, now let's see JB's Abyss climb. Looking like a much safer climb. Sort of not the fastest, but it's still faster than dunking by a considerable amount. Yeah, clean.
Yeah, that was good.
Why
I should have kept my mouth shut.
Right, now THK death from Jamie.
So in this category, you really don't want to see these dashes that she's gotten 3 of already.
And a parry. Oh, no.
You really want him to be
and teleports out of the tree.
But...
This is not looking good. Yeah. Ooh, and she went for the dash there. Yeah, healing 2. Okay, I think she's just trying to finish at this point. Ooh, she has like 10, 15 seconds. Yeah, okay. She has like 5 seconds to finish this. Shriek.
She had 1 health. She was just gonna be safe.
Yeah, I think she missed PB by a few seconds, but still, like, for a race showing, that is still really good. She's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, GG indeed. JB entering the Hollow Knight fight now. Let's see if he gets any better RNG.
Yeah, so missed PB by 7 seconds. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really good considering that she got completely mobbed in green path.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of 30 seconds there. Probably 10 seconds on THK, 10 seconds on Abyss Climb, at least, sort of thing. So really, really impressive showing.
JB is getting a little bit more stationary attacks.
Yeah. He is also taking a bit of damage though. Is this last screen? Yeah, okay, he's fine. Shriek, yeah. Yeah, so no good damage. It's 2 nail swings and 2 full shrieks.
He
What
got
is
sideways kill.
THK doing?
Yeah, he killed him during the bounce, so he got the sideways THK.
I've not seen that before. Oh, that's great.
I love this game.
Yeah, so JB finishing basically just his peaks time loss behind Jamie. So really solid from both of them, barring that one slip up. And so we'll try and get them both in for a post-race interview and see if they had any thoughts on it.
PB pace at a... Oh, there we go. Hello.
Hello, GG to both of you. Jamie, 7 seconds off. How are you feeling after that?
That was... So I was 30 seconds behind at Wings, and then from Umu onwards, I only saved time up until Shriek, where I was 12 seconds ahead, and then I just bunged up Abyss Climb. Which is really, really frustrating, but...
Yeah, but I mean, missed by 7 seconds, probably 10 seconds on THK, a bit on Abyss Climb, and then like 30 seconds on your green path. So the rest of the run was just like really good, and Umu 1 cycle as well.
Yeah, I finally learned it.
Yeah,
I
and
sat down with myself.
JB as well getting the 1 cycle. Really unfortunate with the peak death, but outside of that, you played a really solid run. So when you consider you probably lost 2.5 minutes to peak, and you finished with an hour and 50.
Yeah, I was 4 seconds behind at Shopkey, and then 3.25 minutes behind at Crystal Heart. So if I didn't lose 3 minutes, that would have been that might have been a PB, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, credit to you for bouncing back after that. I know it's very easy to get in your head when that sort of thing happens. So
I mean, I haven't really had much chance to practice, and I wasn't expecting to do that well anyway. So by the time I died, I just thought, well, I can't win, so I'll just kind of play as well as I can and try not to embarrass myself too much. So
Yeah,
hopefully I didn't do that.
Considering how the rest of your run went after that death, you did a really great job keeping up. So it was still a really great showcase.
Yeah, for sure. And I do respect going back and doing the underplat on the way back.
I mean, it wasn't like a proper underplat, but I mean...
But you do have to do it. I mean, you know, for the spirit of... what was your final time, by the way?
1 hour 50.
With a Peak's death, that's like actually really, really good.
I had a really bad
heavily impressed.
like split between getting wraiths and then getting into deep nest. Like I had to heal like 5 times, but other than that, everything else was like good to really good. So I'm pretty happy with how the run went, even with the death.
Yeah. And this is the first run, I think, where both runners got 1 cycle for current patch.
Let's go.
Unless, actually, no. I think my match versus Aero, it might have happened as well. But either way, really impressive for both of you to get it. Like I say, it was just a really sort of high-level match. Is this winners semis?
This is winners finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's about what you would expect from winners finals. Really solid times from both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Em, did you have anything else you wanted to add on?
No, we're good.
All right.
Run 4 mask shards. That's all I have to say.
Okay. I will say
421.
I will say 2 things. 1, screw THK, and 2, run spellless.
Oh, yeah, speaking of THK, I got like upside down Hornet and like a sideways THK that I've never seen before. I was just laughing the whole time as I was like focusing the infection, like what the hell is happening?
What? I've never heard of that. That's strange.
Yeah, because it was like mid-bounce, I think.
Yeah, he killed him like as THK was hitting the ground from a bounce, so his sprite was like in a weird angle. Like, you know, you kill enemies sometimes and they're shifted.
That's weird.
As I was focusing, THK was like stuck half in the floor. It was really odd.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really fun match to commentate. Like I say, super solid performances from both of you, even if some of the categories you chose to plug at the end were a little questionable.
Hey, the long now we're actually the most fun trick.
I too love banging my head against a living brick wall for 10 minutes.
You're literally, you just recommended best girl %. That's like the definition of brick wall.
No, you don't have to hit the brick wall anymore. It's just 3 turnaround fireballs. It's fine.
Ah, easy. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, nothing else from me. Good race. Thanks, Jamie.
Super GG to both of you. I'll just double check when the next match is. It is looking like it will be 2 hours from when this match started. So it might actually be in progress now, which is Serpent versus Rhino. Oh no, that'll be on this channel. So I think we'll wrap up now to give them time to get set up. But yeah, GG to both of you. Thanks everyone for watching. And if you stick around for like 5 minutes, the next race will be in progress. Thanks, Em, for the co-com, and thanks everyone for watching.